It's one of our big stories this Friday morning. The case against controversial businessman Vusimuzi Cat Matlala has been postponed to next month. He's facing charges of attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder. This is in relation to an attempted hit on his former partner, Tebogo Thobejane. Matlala will remain in custody while the three other co-accused were told out on bail. Neria Hlakotsa is our reporter watching the story, and she joins us now from outside court. Neria, initially we were under the impression that we could broadcast inside court, but there was a ruling that barred live broadcasts. Tell us what happened.
Definitely, Ayanda. Well, basically, the state was saying that the previous ruling when Matlala appeared here in the Alexandra Magistrate's Court was the fact that media can only record and not broadcast the proceedings live. They were also saying, I must tell you, that the state was saying they do not even want to see their faces on TV, but we can only essentially record their voices and broadcast that. But today we saw Matlala and his three co-accused here at the Alexandra Magistrate's Court. Among other things that happened today was Matlala's defense team basically saying that they need more documentation from the state. What they are saying is that the dockets that the state has furnished them with do not have all the necessary documents, and they are asking for, among other things, they were saying that the state must at least give them the banking documents that they are relying on. Because if you remember, the charge here with Matlala is that he planned this hit against his former lover. So the state was also saying that he paid people for this, and as a result they looked at his banking details. And another thing that they are asking for, the defense that is that the state needs to provide them at least with all the material they extracted from Matlala's cell phone. You remember, Matlala did give the state his cell phone so that it can be searched and checked, and the defense is saying not everything that was found in that cell phone has been given to them, and they're asking that it be finished. The state did confirm that Matlala gave them the phone voluntarily. He even signed to say he agrees that they can check and download his phone. So now the case has been postponed to August 26. In 2 weeks, the state has 2 weeks to give the defense every document that they have. And as you know, this case has drawn so much public attention. You know, I can only tell you, just with the media, almost every media house is here. And this morning also we saw some political parties. Amongst them was Umkhonto Wesizwe, who have joined just basically to say to the magistrate that Matlala, who remains in custody, should stay there. I must mention that Matlala's wife was also in court. You must remember, she is out on 20,000 rand bail, and her charges is obviously that she knew about this. She is accessory after the fact, but she was granted bail, and the other two accused are currently out on warning. So Matlala is the only person that remains in prison. But I want to bring in Umkhonto Wesizwe just to speak to them about the importance of them being here and what they are hoping, especially perhaps after the revelations by KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, basically speaking about how Matlala could be linked or has connections with senior police officials. What were you hoping to hear here in court, and why perhaps did you decide to come here?
Thank you very much for having us. Look, as Umkhonto Wesizwe, we take seriously and in very dim view the revelations by the Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, and we were very clear to South Africans that we support his stance fully and we are behind him. Among some of the things, there will be a rollout of what we will be doing, but in court we are also here to picket and demonstrate, to put pressure on the criminal justice system. For the past times we have seen the justice system, especially the judiciary, holding firm when South Africa needed needed them the most. And we believe this is that time that South Africa needs them the most. If you heard in court, like you correctly said, that the defense is relying on the loopholes that they may find in the way the state is handling the case. And we want to warn the NPA that they've been botching a few high-profile cases, and they will not do this with this one. They've spoken about the Section 205, whether or not it's there. And you would know that if it's not there, it means the evidence collected may not be admissible in court because it might have been collected illegally. And they've also spoken about the J7 as well, that they've not, and other things. So what we are saying is, MK, is to say we are not going to allow the state to botch this case. Our people deserve justice. They have been victimized for far too long, and this month we understand to be a month of injustice, and we want justice to prevail in this country.
Thank you so much for that. These are just some of the sentiments. Even earlier when we spoke to the people around here in Alexandra, they're just hoping that this case will run smoothly and they will, of course, see justice, you know. Among other things, of course, that we know also is that you must remember Matlala had to be moved to the CMEX section of the Vusimuzi prison after a cell phone was found in his possession. So today, funny enough, I must tell you, or interestingly enough, we saw a huge police presence in court, maybe just to ensure that the court itself is safe, but there was high police presence today here in the Alexandra Magistrate's Court.
So many moving parts. Neria Hlakotsa is our reporter, live to us there from the Alexandra Magistrate's Court. For now, Neria, thanks very much indeed.